So can you say me what was Newton's first law of motion all about? What we studied in Newton's first law of motion? Beta?
Sir, inertia and
Exactly.
mass.
Exactly. No, not inertia and mass. Inertia
Force.
and force. Exactly. Okay. So if you look at Newton's first law, you will come to know that Newton's first law is actually a Newton's first law is a qualitative. What it is? It is a qualitative analysis of force. What is Newton's first law? Newton's first law is a qualitative analysis of force. Now you may ask me, sir, what is the meaning of the word qualitative analysis? Means we came to know about what is force qualitatively in Newton's first law. If you look at the definition of Newton's first law, you will come to know that by the Newton's first law of motion, we came to know that force is an external agent that changes or tends to change the state of an object. Exactly. So we came to know about what is force actually in Newton's first law of motion. That's why Newton's first law is also called as a qualitative analysis of force, because we came to know exactly what is force in the definition of Newton's first law. Then we discussed Newton's second law of motion. And if you look at it in Newton's second law of motion, it is nothing but it is a quantitative. What it is? It is a quantitative discussion or analysis of force. What it is, beta? It is a quantitative analysis of force. Means what? It means that on what factors the force depend. How is the relation of force with the other factors? If I ask you that an object is of mass 2 kg and it accelerates with 5 meter per second square, how much is the force required? Can you say me? If the mass of the object is 2 kg and it accelerates with 5 meter per second square, so how much is the force required?
10.
Exactly. So from where you get that 10, beta? From where you get
F
that
is
10?
equal to ma.
Yes.
Formula.
Is equal to
Yes.
ma.
Yes.
10 Newton.
Very true, beta. So you came to know the mathematical relation about force in Newton's second law. Yes or no? We came to know about the mathematical relation of force, like delta P upon T is equal to F, F is equal to ma. Yes or no? So we came to know about the mathematical relation of all the factors associated with force in Newton's second law. That's why it is a quantitative analysis. What is Newton's second law, beta? It is a quantitative analysis of force, which tells us that how the force is associated with each other, with all the other factors like mass, initial velocity, final velocity, time, acceleration, momentum. How we came to know? We came to know about all this in Newton's second law of motion. Clear, class? Then you will also come to know that, have we discussed any numericals in Newton's first law of motion? Have we solved any numericals?
No, sir.
No, exactly.
No, sir.
Have you solved numericals in Newton's second law of motion, beta?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
because we came to know about what is force in Newton's first law. So there is no numerical part involved in Newton's first law. But when we know the relations of force with mass, acceleration, momentum, and other parameters, then we came to know what is a quantitative relation of force. Okay, so this is what we studied in Newton's first and second law. Now we are going to talk about Newton's third law of motion. Now you may ask me, sir, then what is there in Newton's third law of motion? Okay, because first is the quantitative analysis. Sorry, first is the qualitative analysis. Second is the quantitative analysis. So now what is there in Newton's third law of motion? So Newton's third law of motion tells us as how the forces interact. It tells us how the forces interact, means how one force interact with other. Means it also tells us how does the force act on the object. Okay, how the forces interact, or how does the force act on the object. If you want to know about it, then that can be understood by Newton's third law of motion. Okay, so let me write the statement of Newton's third law of motion. We will directly start our discussion with the statement of Newton's third law of motion. Third law of motion. Okay, write down the statement. What the statement says, it says that to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction.
सर आपने लिखा है ये?
हाँ बेटा,
लिखा है सर आपने?
कब लिखे बेटा हमने?
सर
नहीं सर, नहीं लिखे।
नहीं बच्चा, I don't remember because last time we discussed the
न्यूमेरिकल्स।
ना बेटा.
हाँ
चलो चलो ठीक है, लिख लो बेटा. हाँ
सर मैंने तो लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे वो.
बच्चा लोग, all of you, have you discussed this beta, Newton's third law of motion?
नो सर।
What about others?
सर यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन किसमें?
वो इसके बाद है ना बेटा.
थर्ड लॉ में है सर.
वो ए पार्ट के पहले है।
नहीं, वो थर्ड लॉ के बाद है बेटा.
सर वो ए पार्ट के पहले है ना?
नहीं,
ए पार्ट के पहले भी 2 पेजेस है।
हाँ लेकिन वो उसमें नहीं था.
सर थर्ड लॉ हुआ है।
थर्ड लॉ हो गया
सर,
ना?
हो गया सर. यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन भी हो गया सर.
हाँ
अच्छा, यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन में क्या क्या हो गया था बेटा हमारा?
नहीं सर।
सर आपने वो 3 पॉइंट्स दिए थे सर. देयर एग्जिस्ट्स अ फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन बिटवीन एनी टू बॉडीज हैविंग मास. The force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of their masses. The force of attraction is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them.
right.
F is directly proportional to m1, m2. m1 and m2 are the masses of two objects. F is inversely proportional to the distance between two objects.
अरे हाँ, right. Yes. We have done that रे बेटा.
सर आपने वो गूगल क्लासरूम पे पोस्ट नहीं किया था क्या?
शायद नहीं किया होगा मैंने. हाँ, right.
इसीलिए मेरा रह गया वो शायद.
Distance between mass of Earth और mass of Moon का वो भी क्या था?
अच्छा.
सर आप कर दोगे क्या वो?
हाँ मैं पोस्ट कर दूंगा बेटा. डोंट वरी, आई विल पोस्ट इट ऑन द ग्रुप. ओके. हाँ तो हमने कहाँ तक देखे थे बेटा? हमने हैव वी डिस्कस द
यूनिट ऑफ जी भी हो गया था सर. आपने वो बताया.
हाँ
यूनिट ऑफ जी.
हाँ, यूनिट ऑफ जी भी हो गया था. राइट. ये अचानक एक मिनट, जस्ट अ मिनट बेटा. आई थिंक आई मिस आउट समथिंग. बेटा it's the same time. Chalo, chalo, no problem. Okay. Yes, yes, we have discussed that they are directly proportional. And then we calculate the unit as well. Yes, yes, I remember. Yes, yes. Okay, so chalo, so we start with from where we left. So what was the last topic we discussed in that, beta?
Unit of G.
Unit of G. So what is the unit? Okay, chalo. I will brush up that idea quickly. Okay. So what we concluded that there is a relation. What is the relation? That there exists a force of attraction between any two objects having mass. Exactly. And what we said, that the force is directly proportional. Exactly. What we said, that the force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of their masses, M1, M2. Yes, it was directly proportional to the product of their masses. And then we said that this force of attraction is inversely proportional to 1 upon d square. Exactly. Means it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Then if you use the same relation, what we said, we get M1 M2 upon d square. What? Yes, this was the relation, M1 M2 upon d square. Okay, then what we did, we want to change the proportionality sign by is equal to. Yes or no? So we get the relation F is equal to G M1 M2 upon d square. Upon d square. Yes, this was the relation. Okay, now what this says about the relation. And then I think I remember we have discussed how much is the force when the mass is 1 kg. Beta? If the two objects of mass is 1 kg each, how much is the force? We have discussed that.
So value of G. So 0.0000000.
Yes, yes. Exactly. Okay.
Negligible. Sir, mass of Earth, mass of Moon.
Okay, Piyush, very good. Okay, so what was the unit of G?
Newton meter square per kg square.
Yeah, so G, what we have to do, we have to change the subject of the formula. So it will become F, this D square, F into D square divided by M1, M2. Exactly. So what it will be? F is force, means Newton. Then D is meter square.
Meter square.
Exactly.
Kg square.
Divided by M1 and M2 is kg. So kg into kg becomes kg
square.
Exactly. So this is the unit of G. Exactly. So now we will talk about, see, just same here if we have discussed this. Okay. Now we will talk about the significance of this. Okay. Now, when have we discussed this better? When we take two objects of mass 1 kg each, Have we discussed this? And distance of separation between them as 1 meter. How much is the force? Have we discussed this concept? हाँ बेटा, have we discussed this concept बेटा?
No, sir.
No ना? चलो.
No,
Please,
sir.
बच्चा लोग, apart from Piyush, you all are the part of the class. You can also say, thank you very much Piyush बेटा. But what about others? You people are not reacting at all बेटा. तुम बोलो ना, ये सर ये हो गया है, ये नहीं हुआ है. Have you done this class, all of you? बोलो तो जरा, ये हुआ है क्या बेटा हमारा? No one is responding. Acha, Priyanka is saying no. What about others? Only Piyush is saying. Piyush is informing me कि सर ये हो गया है, ये नहीं हुआ है.
सर नहीं हुआ सर.
हाँ हाँ, बोलो ना बेटा. तुम लोग बातें करेंगे ना जितना मुझसे, उतना फिर मुझे ऐसा अच्छा लगता है कि चलो यार मेरे बच्चों को समझ में आ रहा है ना. अभी तुमको अपने क्लास में भी तो तुम जहाँ पे बैठे हो वहां पे भी तुम्हारे फ्रेंड्स है जो जिनसे तुम बातें कर रहे हो. ठीक है. So you should always keep on interacting with me beta. Okay, the more you interact with me, the better you will understand. Okay, so now we will find out how much is the force of attraction between two objects of mass 1 kg each, and how much is the distance between them. The distance between them is 1 meter. So let's find out how much is the force of attraction. So what is the formula? So our formula is F is equal to G m1 m2 upon d square. This is our formula. Yes, this is our formula beta. Yes, chalo, keep on tapping with me. हाँ, ये सब मेरे साथ लिखो बेटा. F is equal to G into m1 कितना है, एक ऑब्जेक्ट का मास कितना है 1, into सेकेंड ऑब्जेक्ट का मास कितना है, वो भी 1 है, डिवाइडेड बाय d स्क्वायर. d कितना है 1. सो 1 का स्क्वायर ले लेते, तो 1 का स्क्वायर कितना आता है बेटा? हाँ 1 एग्जैक्टली. तो हमारा आंसर क्या आया? F is equal to G into 1 into 1 divided by 1 square. 1 square is also 1. So 1 in, what will be the answer of this? The answer of this will come out to be equal to G. Exactly. अब हमको पता है already. We know the value of G. What is the value of G? So the value of G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. So how much is the force? So you will find the force comes out to be 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton. This is the force of attraction between any two objects having mass of 1 kg and the distance of separation between them as 1 meter. कितना फोर्स है बेटा? देखो इतना फोर्स है 0. Okay, this is the force of attraction between two objects of mass 1 kg each and the distance between them as 1 meter. Now same ही class, अगर अब तुमको क्या लगता है बेटा, ये फोर्स बहुत बड़ा फोर्स है क्या?
नहीं सर,
बहुत छोटा है. देखो कितना है, 1 न्यूटन भी नहीं है, 0.0000000 10 जीरो लिखा मैंने, उसके बाद 667 लिखा. मतलब ये इतना छोटा है, इतना छोटा है, इतना छोटा है कि हम इसको निग्लेक्ट भी कर सकते हैं. What we can do? We can neglect it, we can ignore it. It is such a small force. Exactly. Now you will ask me this question that sir, अगर ये force इतना ही छोटा सा है, it is almost zero, then why are you studying it? Exactly. And इतना सा अगर force है तो क्या कोई object एक दूसरे को attract करेगा? Exactly. Very true or not? But this force is quite insignificant. Understand? This force is quite insignificant for objects on the surface of the earth. On the surface of the earth. This force is quite insignificant. Now what we will do, beta? Now we will find out how much is the force of attraction between the earth and the moon. Chalo, let's find. Let's find the force of attraction between the earth and the moon. Okay, chalo. So let's do it now. We are going to do the same. हाँ बेटा,
ये हो गया था सर.
ये भी हो गया था.
Sir, 2 into 10 raised to 20 Newton.
Very
Force,
good.
sir.
Exactly. Very true. So this, how much was the force? 2 into 10 raised to 20
20 Newton.
Newton. Exactly. So this force becomes quite significant. Exactly. This force is quite significant for the objects. Is quite significant for the heavenly objects. Heavenly objects का मतलब क्या बेटा? The objects like earth, moon, sun, all the other planets. So this force is quite significant for heavenly objects. Clear class? Okay, now write down the next topic. Okay, now what we will do? अच्छा बेटा, इसके बाद और क्या हुआ तेरे मेरा बच्चा पीयूष?
सर इधर क्या था?
यहाँ तक ही किए थे कि हमने?
ये फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन.
अच्छा, फोर्स ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी किए कि हमने? फोर्स ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी किए बेटा हमने?
नहीं सर.
नहीं. चलो, so let's start with force due to gravity. Now what we will do? We will do one thing. We will take the force. Let's find out. Find the force of attraction between the earth and a mass of 1 kg. How much we are going to find the force of attraction between earth and the mass of 1 kg on the surface of the earth. ओके, प्लीज राइट डाउन दिस विथ मी. आप चलो, अब हम इसको फाइंड करते हैं. ठीक है, तो अब इसके लिए हमारा फॉर्मूला फिर से वही फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे बेटा. हम कौन सा? दिस वन. F इज इक्वल टू G m1 m2 अपॉन d स्क्वायर. ओके, अब G की वैल्यू तो हमें पता है कितनी है? 6.67 इंटू 10 रेज टू माइनस 11. एग्जैक्टली, ये हो गया G की वैल्यू. एग्जैक्टली, दिस इज अवर वैल्यू ऑफ G इनटू. अब m1 क्या है? m1 इज द मास ऑफ द अर्थ. कितना है बेटा मास ऑफ द अर्थ? 5.96 इंटू 10 रेज टू 24 kg. Exactly, this is the mass of the earth. कितना है mass of the earth into what is the mass of the another object? 1 kg. Exactly, so 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 5.96 into 10 raised to 24 into 1. ये क्या हो गया? ये हो गया mass of the earth and the mass of 1 kg object. Then we will divide it by the distance. Now where is the object lying? The object is lying on the surface of the earth. So how much will be the distance beta? इसका distance कितना होगा? हाँ बेटा? So can I take the distance as 0? Because if it is lying on the surface of the earth.
Yes.
Okay. So you think that the distance should be 0? नहीं बेटा, देखो अभी मैं तुमको थोड़ा सा I'm explaining you with the help of a simulation. With the help of a diagram. Pay attention. Okay. See, I'm explaining you with the help of a diagram. See. This is Earth. Assume this is Earth. This is Earth. Okay. And this is the object which is lying on the surface of the Earth. Assume this is the object. This is the object which is lying on the surface of the Earth. Okay. So you will say, sir, what is the distance between the object and the Earth? 0, because it is exactly lying. But we never take like this. See, whenever we take the distance between the two objects, see, ये एक object है और ये एक object है. ठीक है बेटा? These are the two objects. Okay. Then how much is the distance between them? So you will say, so the distance between them is from this point to this point. इतना distance है क्या हम दोनों के बीच में? Is this the distance between them? The line which I have drawn, इतना distance है क्या इन दोनों के बीच में बेटा? And the answer is no. ये जो मैंने distance बनाया ना, कि इतना distance है उन दोनों के बीच में? And the answer is no. तो फिर कितना distance है दोनों के बीच में? This is not the distance बेटा. Okay, remember ये distance नहीं है. This is not the distance between the two objects. Then how much is the distance between the two objects? So if you want to find out the distance between the two objects, you have to take it from the center of the first object to the center of the second object. ये है distance बेटा. कितना है distance? From the center of the first object to the center of the second object. ये distance है बेटा. This is the distance between the two objects. From the center of the first object to the center of the another object. अब ये object है अर्थ के सरफेस पे, तो कितना डिस्टेंस लूं अभी मैं? तो इसके सेंटर से लेके अर्थ के सेंटर तक. कितना डिस्टेंस बेटा? उसके सेंटर से लेके अर्थ के सेंटर तक. एग्जैक्टली. अब उसका डिस्टेंस कितना रहेगा बेटा? यस, वेरी गुड ऋषि. इसका डिस्टेंस कितना होगा? तो ये तो चलो, ये तो बहुत नेग्लिजिबल है. बट then how much is this distance? This is the radius of the Earth. Okay, so that's why what we have to do, we have to take the distance between the two objects as the radius of the Earth. समझ में आ रहा है कितना डिस्टेंस लेंगे? समझ में आ रहा है बेटा कितना डिस्टेंस लेंगे दोनों के बीच में? From the center of one object to the center of another object. तो इसका सेंटर तो ले लिए, लेकिन इसका सेंटर कहां से लेंगे हम अर्थ का? From the radius of the Earth. Okay, so if you follow that theory, then how much is our d? So the d is equal to the radius of the Earth. And how much is the radius of the Earth, beta? So the radius of the Earth is 6.37 into 10 raised to 6 bracket square. Exactly. तो ये हो गया हमारा bracket square और ये हो गया हमारा 10 raised to 6. Exactly. Now, if you solve this value, beta, if you solve this, you will come to know the value of F comes out to be how much? Do you know? The value of F comes out to be 9.8 Newton. कितना फोर्स आता है बेटा? 9.8 न्यूटन. इसको सॉल्व करो, ये मैथमेटिक्स को सॉल्व करो, ये एक्सरसाइज को, and you will find the answer comes out to be 9.8 Newton. So what does this give us? This tells us that if I have an object of mass 1 kg, how much mass the object is? The mass of the object is 1 kg. So by how much force it is attracted towards the earth? So it is attracted towards the earth with a force of 9.8 Newton, which is approximately equal to 10 Newton. Exactly. So this is the value of force of attraction, and that's the reason why. That is the reason why, beta, you will find that if you take any object, and if it falls from your hand, what is the future of that object? You will find that object falls on the earth. What happens to that object? That object falls on the earth. Why it is falling on the earth? Because there is a force of attraction between the earth and that object. Exactly. And if the mass of that object is 1 kg, how much is the force of attraction? 10 Newton. If the mass is 2 kg, then the force of attraction will be 20 Newton. If the mass is 3 kg, then the force of attraction will be 30 Newton. Getting it, beta? Then how much will be the force of attraction? The force of attraction will be 30 Newton. And what is this basically, beta? This is nothing but this is our weight of the object. So how much is the mass? How much is the weight of the object of mass 1 kg? The weight of the object of mass 1 kg is approximately 10 Newton. And if you want to be a little more specific, then it is 9.8 Newton. And this very force is responsible. This very force is accountable for the object. This very force is responsible. This very force is accountable for the object to fall on the earth. That's why anything, if it slips from our hand, it falls on the earth. Why it is falling, beta? Because of the force of attraction between the earth and that object. Clear class? So see कितना important उन्होंने relation लिखा. Clear class? चलो, now we will start with the next topic. Write down. बेटा ये लिख लिया तुम लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write down next. ये बच्चा लोग तुम सही में लिखते हो ना? Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now before that, now I want to show you one video of this. Okay. ये जो objects है ना, between two objects they attract each other. Let me show you a video of that. Okay. मैं तुमको एक video दिखाता हूँ बेटा, ताकि तुमको realize हो कि हाँ यार ये तो सही बात है. Wait a minute. I will show you that.
Okay, we're going to be trying out the
सर वीडियो नहीं दिख रहा.
हाँ बेटा नहीं दिखेगा, ठहरो, मैं शेयर नहीं किया ना रे बेटा.
Got a wire. I can move it now.
It's recording.
Recording.
Okay, we will start with this. Okay. Chalo, so I will share it with you now. Because you need to understand that, beta. Okay, chalo, so I will share it with you. This one. Look at it. Can you see this? Now,
Yes, sir.
what happened, beta? थोड़ी सी बात को समझने की कोशिश करो. Okay, what? That if I take two objects, okay, and if I take two objects and if I find out how much is the force of attraction between them, the problem is the friction force is much more than the force of attraction. So you will never find they are attracting each other. So what we do, we don't want that friction force. हमें वो friction force नहीं चाहिए. तो हमने क्या किया बेटा, एक ऑब्जेक्ट को देखो, ये मास है, हेवी ऑब्जेक्ट ले लिया हमने, उसको एक जगह पर बांधे, दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट को दूसरी जगह पर बांधे, ठीक है. एंड देन व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी आर जस्ट टाइंग देम. हमने उसको ऐसा बांध कर बीच में एक रस्सी से हमने उसको लटका दी, ठीक है. अब देखो क्या होगा.
Okay, we're going to be trying out the Cavendish experiment here. I've been letting the torsion balance come to rest over the course of about 24 hours now. Even with that amount of time, I think just from the air circulation from the heating and cooling system, I've still seen a small amount of motion here. So in the last about 10 minutes, I've seen this end move from here over to here. So that's probably about 10 degrees in 10 minutes. I'm going to let this, I'm going to just gently touch this and try and bring it to rest. And the masses are going to change in
See, it's
of
changing.
these things. So we stop by it.
देखो घूम रहा है बेटा वो.
So very, we have in there bowling balls. And of course, even with just it's moving. It looks like in the time of the go, it's moved here over this way, so it's rotating counterclockwise when viewed from there.
Now see. Now what he has done, he has kept another object which is quite massive. Okay, he has kept the bowling ball. देखो ये bowling ball है बेटा. Okay, so these balls are quite massive. So there is now, since the mass has increased, since the mass of the two objects has increased, the force of attraction will also increase. Now see how they will move. See, देखो घूम रहे हैं देखो, see they are attracting each other. See how they are moving, and here he has kept the timer as well, and it's moving little faster because it takes time to attract na. So it's very slow acceleration what is taking place. Okay, but what we observe, see they are attracting each other. Exactly, isn't it बेटा? देखे वो दोनों को एक दूसरे को अट्रैक्ट किए उन्होंने. कैसे अट्रैक्ट किए बेटा? कैसे अट्रैक्ट किए? Because there is a force of attraction between, because there is a force of attraction between any two objects having mass. यहाँ से रख, यहाँ पर कुछ slowly हो रहा है वो. हाँ, यहाँ से देखो. See how they are attracting each other. And why they are attracting? Because there exists a force of attraction between any two objects having mass. So due to these two objects, they are having mass, there exists a force of attraction, and that is the reason why they are attracting each other. Getting it?
The meter stick, and part of that, we rotated back in this successful. With the results, when I went back and looked at this, after I last touched the torsion balance, this end was moving just in direction, so it was rotating clockwise. But on its own, it came to a stop and started rotating back this direction. We must be really close to the equilibrium position on this right now. So when we started it, it was over this way, to this side of the equilibrium position, and still moving this direction. When we put the bowling balls on there, it turned around, which it would have done anyway to get back to its equilibrium position, but it went way beyond it was movement of the force of gravity from those bowling balls. Equilibrium position on this right, over this position, done anyway. So see the result would have nice example, very small objects, good replication of the Cavendish.
Clear class? Are you getting it, beta? So you will find that the two objects, they are still attracting each other. Okay, chalo. So now we will talk about acceleration due to gravity. Okay, chalo. So let's start with acceleration due to gravity. Now, what is the meaning of this word acceleration due to gravity? You need to understand the meaning of this word acceleration due to gravity. Write down the definition. The rate, all of you write down with me, the rate at which the velocity of a freely falling body the rate at which the velocity of a freely falling body increases is called the acceleration due to gravity. This is the meaning of the word. This is the meaning of the word acceleration due to gravity. What is the meaning of the word acceleration due to gravity? The rate at which the velocity of a freely falling body increases is called acceleration due to gravity. Now you know what is the value of acceleration due to gravity? Beta, do you know what is the value of acceleration due to gravity? The acceleration due to gravity, the value is 9.8 meter per second square. How much is the value of acceleration due to gravity? 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, this is the value, or we can say magnitude. This is the magnitude. Okay, what is the unit we use for beta for acceleration due to gravity? So the unit what we use, unit is meter per second. And what is the symbol we use for that?
A.
No, acceleration due to gravity. Lower case g, small g beta. Acceleration के लिए a, लेकिन ये acceleration due to gravity है. What is this? This is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So since it's acceleration due to gravity, its value will be, its symbol is small g. उसका magnitude कितना होता है बेटा? 9.8. And most of the time what we do, we take the value of it as 10. Okay, most of the time we take the value as 10. Okay. All of you getting it, beta?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Copy it, beta. Copy it. Okay, now class, I want to share something very interesting with you now. Okay, listen now, pay attention and listen carefully. Okay, if I drop a bowling ball and a feather from a height. Okay, I'm dropping a bowling ball and a feather from a height. Now say me, which object will hit the ground first?
Bowling ball.
Bowling ball.
Beta, obviously, the bowling ball will hit the ground first. Okay, now my question to you people is, okay, assume the mass of the bowling ball and feather is same. What we are assuming? We are assuming that the mass of the bowling ball and the feather is same. Okay. Now say me.
Both will hit at the same time.
How beta?
Both will hit at the same time.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
All of you agree? But definitely try to understand, if the mass of the bowling ball and the feather is same, then the volume of the feather will be too much. Okay, the volume of the feather will be too much. So will they hit the ground at the same time? Will they hit the ground at the same time, beta? And you will find that the bowling ball will hit the ground first. The feather will not hit the ground first. The bowling ball will hit the ground first. Okay. But if their mass is same, the force acting on them is also same. But then why the bowling ball will fall first and why not the feather will fall first, beta? The reason is, try to understand, very important reason, beta. The reason is that the bowling ball is having less frictional force and the feather is having more frictional force. Exactly. Understand, when any object is falling, what happens? When it is falling, it interacts with the air. Exactly. It collides, it come in contact with the air. And what the air will do, beta? The air will produce lot of friction. And that is the reason why you will find that if you drop two objects of almost the same mass, if you drop two objects of same mass, but one is smaller in size and one is bigger in size, like a feather and a bowling ball, you will find that the bowling ball will hit the ground first. Okay. Are you getting it, beta? But
yes, sir,
make them fall. Okay. Now what we will do? We will make them fall in vacuum. Now which one will hit the ground first? Beta? Now which object will hit the ground first?
Sir, I think so. Feather.
हाँ बेटा निर्मित क्या?
Sir, I think so. It is feather.
Which will hit the ground first? Feather will hit and bowling ball will.
Sir, feather. Feather.
That's what I'm saying, beta. So feather will fall
Sir.
first. Bowling ball will not fall first.
Yes, sir.
Acha. Okay. Okay. Can you give me the
Yes,
reason why?
Sir, because mass does not act in vacuum.
Sure. No, बेटा ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है कि mass does not act in vacuum. No, there is no such rule that mass does not act in vacuum. Mass also acts in vacuum, beta. Okay. But the interesting part is
Yes,
if you
sir.
make them fall in vacuum, then you will observe both the bowling ball and the feather falls on the ground at the same time. Exactly. What you will observe,
Yes,
beta?
sir.
If you make them fall in vacuum, then both the bowling ball and the feather falls on the ground at the same time.
Same time.
Why they will fall at the same time? Because the air friction, the air resistance is zero on both the objects. The air resistance on the bowling ball as well as the feather will be zero, and that's why you will find that the bowling ball and the feather will fall on the ground at the same time. Getting it, class? Okay. Again, I will ask you one question, that if I take a stone, or if I take a stone of mass half kg and another stone of mass 10 kg, and I drop them from a height, which will hit the ground first? Which will hit the ground first, beta? हाँ बच्चा लोग, you can type your messages, beta, no problem. Half kg object will fall first and 10 kg object will fall later on, beta. Priyanka? Okay, chalo, very good. And Priyanka, why the half kg object will fall first, beta? हाँ बेटा प्रियंका?
Sir, because its weight is less.
Asa, so the objects whose weight is less will fall quickly. हाँ बेटा, the objects whose weight is less will fall quickly, and the objects whose weight is more will take more time to fall.
Yes, sir.
Then opposite is true, or what? 10 kg will fall quickly. Okay, no problem, bacha. We will continue with our discussion. Okay, what we will do? We will continue with our discussion in the next session, because what happens? Our time is up, and that's why we cannot continue. I have to show you some videos, some nice presentations on this. So we'll continue it next Monday, because we are not going to have a test on next Monday because we're not done with this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much, beta.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Put your attendance on the group. Okay?
Yes, bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Sir, thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, bacha. Bye, beta.